Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. That was fun. Waiting for the stream to start. Hang on a quick second. Let's go live over here. There we go. All right. Happy Monday. There we go. Happy Monday. Welcome to the start of a brand new week. We're coming out of a holiday here in the US, intending that you all had a wonderful 4th of July and just chill, went to the beach, had your picnics and your barbecues and all the fun things that happen with this summer holiday. All right, this morning we're talking about the law of opulence, and I have a story for you. Hang on one second, let me get my little prop. I've got an incredible story for you that I think is probably the most recent. Like, I know this law like the back of my hand, but this is probably the most recent, like, just jaw-dropping thing that has been a part of my experience in the last few months, with specifically related to this law. So the law of opulence, in essence, says the feeling of opulence precedes the manifestation of wealth. So if you want to type and write and do all those things, this would be a great time. The spiritual law of opulence says this: the feeling of opulence precedes the manifestation of wealth. It means feeling opulent comes first, right? Why do I love this law? Why do I love all the universal and the spiritual laws? Why do I love them? Because this is a law, as all the laws are really, but this is the law of cause and effect. If you want to implement the cause that will result in the wealth, that will result in the effect of wealth being manifested in your life, then you want to know, like the back of your hand, this law. Sure as your name is your name, you want to know this law at that level of intimacy. So I'm going to start off. I see that there are a lot of you here this morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Listen, if the next level for you, whatever that looks like, whether it's a few more zeros, one more zero, $10,000 extra, I don't know what it is, but the next level of financial success, if for you, the way you are experiencing getting there is that it's taking a long time or it's feeling hard, it is not so much that you're doing things wrong, because people like to say, what am I doing wrong, Tasha? What am I doing wrong? It's not so much that you're doing things wrong as much as what it is that you're not doing enough right things. You're not doing enough right things that will make it happen fast and effortless. And I want you to think of that word effortless, and I want you to soak it up in your spirit this morning, because I'm going somewhere with this message, right? So I want you to just start thinking about, when you look at getting to your next level of success, your next level of financial success, has it been taking a long time? Has it been hard? Is it just filling you with doubt around if it's even possible? If that is the case, my tendency is usually to look at, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? And I want you to hear me say it again. It's not so much that you're doing something wrong, as much as it is that you're not doing enough of the right things. And the reason why I love laws, and you notice I talked about the law of non-resistance a few weeks ago, and today I'm talking about the law of opulence, because laws take away circumstance, they take away conditions, they take away all the things, the limiting beliefs that cause us to stay stuck in a certain financial situation. When you understand the law, you have a guarantee, and I love guarantees. So this law guarantees wealth. If you can understand and apply the laws, what we know about this to be true is that the history of the human experience has been changed forever, because people understood the laws at hand and applied them and changed the course of history, changed the way humans experience life today. I'm going to give you an example that we all know. 500 years ago, Christopher Columbus studied the laws of astronomy and mathematics and came to the conclusion that the world was round, not flat, and 500 years ago went from Portugal to the Bahamas in 61 days, right? Okay, wow, there's a whole new world. Like, talk about the entire history being completely changed in good and really bad ways. But hey, he discovered the law of astronomy and mathematics and figured out that there was a whole other world. Okay, fast forward, that was 500 years ago. Fast forward, and 120 years ago, the Wright brothers discovered that we could fly. That application of the law of motion, they understood the law of motion, and go research it so you can figure out why we fly and how we fly. What are the laws at play? But their understanding of the law changed history. It took us from 61 days to get from Portugal to the West Indies. That now takes, at most, a direct flight 7 to 8 hours. 7 to 8 hours. What does that mean? You went from being in a ship, which was treacherous, really crazy, hard. I watched the movies and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was just ridiculously impossible, right? They risked their lives. They did all of that, and it took 61 days. You can now fly first class in 8 hours across the world because people started to understand the laws, apply them, and changed human history, changed human experience. Why am I telling you this? Let me just ask you, let me jump over here in the comments. Do you agree that the laws of nature and understanding the universal laws has enhanced human experience? Yes or no? Do you agree? As humans have become more aware of the laws that exist. I remember I was reading a book recently and it said, in year one, humanity could have invented planes and spaceships and all the things that we have today. But they were not aware of the law in year one. They didn't understand, right? But over time, as we became more enlightened, we observed more, we started to understand the laws that were always here and started to apply them. Life changed. Life has dramatically changed from a human being in year one to a human being in year 2024. Do you agree? It's totally changed. So the question is this: if wealth and financial success is not effortless for you, if it's not easy and fast, could you benefit from understanding the laws that make wealth easy and effortless? If it's not for you right now, if it's not, do you think, just like the laws of the universe, of science, of physics has changed drastically human experience, do you think that if there is a law that could make wealth effortless, there are laws that could make wealth effortless, if you understood them, and you applied them, by the way, understand and apply, then it could change and enhance your experience with having wealth be effortless? Yes or no? I see a ton of course, of course, of course. Is that Nancy? Nancy, hello. We've been trying to reach you. I'm so happy you're here this morning. Mwah. Okay. So here's what I want every single person listening on the replay or live to type. This is a Florence Shin quote that I love. And it says, "The law obeys man when man obeys the law." Type that. The law obeys man, comma, when man obeys the law. Literally, what this is saying, let me break it down in super like ABCs for all of us. When you learn to obey the law becomes your servant. The greatest scientists, the people that have totally changed the world and totally changed the human experience, understood the laws, obeyed them, understood and obeyed them, and then they had the ability to have the laws obey them, right? Think about electricity. Think about being able to go to space. Think about flying across the world. Think about the microwave. Think about turning on a switch and your entire house is lit. Like, that is all understanding. These are the laws that cause these things to happen. And when you understand and obey the laws, they obey you. And I'm just going to tell you that probably is the most powerful thing that I can say this morning. When you obey the law obeys you. When you learn to obey the law, it becomes your servant. The law of opulence says that if you want to experience more wealth in your life, this is the law of opulence. If you want to experience more wealth in your life, put yourself in more wealthy experiences. Now, this is from somebody who spent her entire life thinking, believing, doing that the only way to success, the only way, one and only, was effort. That's like people in the 1500s thinking the only way to get from this part of the world to this part is on a ship. When the laws existed that could allow them to fly and do it in hours instead of months. The law was there. They just didn't understand it. And I want you to think of that. It's not abstract. I want you to think of that right now. There are laws that will cause wealth to be effortless, period. If you are still having it be hard and take a long time, then you have not mastered these laws. You are not obeying them. And that's why I'm saying you're not doing enough right things. You're not spending more time rightly obeying the laws. And therefore, those laws are not obeying you. You are a servant to them instead of them being a servant to you, because you don't understand and you're not necessarily applying them in the right way and in the way that creates the results that you want. So what I love about this law of opulence is that it is based on the law of assumption. Again, it's just law, backing law, backing law, backing law. Why do I love laws? They give guarantees. The law of assumption said, assume yourself to be that which you wish to be, and you will be it. Assume yourself to be wealthy, put yourself in wealthy environments, and you will be wealthy. That is a law, a guaranteed fact, right? And why I love these two laws is that it's also backed by science, neuroscience, the law of physics, quantum physics, because your reticular activating system, your brain is literally wired to focus on where you put your attention, the experiences that you put your body in. If you put your body in opulent, wealthy experiences, your reticular activating system, your subconscious mind has no choice but to say, oh, you are wealthy. Let me give it all to you. Why do I love these laws? Why does it make it effortless? Because science, spirituality, universal laws, everything combines and it causes wealth to happen for you. So you're like, okay, Tasha, so just go sit in a wealthy hotel and that's it. Wealth's going to happen for me. I'm not saying that. Let's be real. What I am saying, it is going to be a lot easier and a lot more effortless than what you're doing right now. And that blew my mind. And that's the thing. People just have a hard time believing it truly can be that simple, right? Because your brain is trained to believe and to be addicted to it can't be that easy. And so you will refuse to believe it because you're literally trained your brain 2 million years of saying it can't be that easy. And that kind of thinking created 400 years difference between man being able to go across the world in 61 days versus hours. And you know the interesting thing, the Wright brothers applied the law of motion to over 120 years ago. But 165 years before they did that, Bernoulli, a scientist, figured out how to fly. 165 years of people just not believing, not doing, not implementing. 165 years of not applying the law caused us to delay flying across the world in 8 hours. So the question is, how does not understanding the laws, and especially the law of opulence, how is it delaying the thing that you want, which is to experience a wealthy, free, and abundant lifestyle. I'm going to tell you a fun story, my recent story. My daughter, she's very in the know about things. And so she goes to this rooftop restaurant and comes back and shows me pictures. I'm like, oh my gosh, where is this? She's like, oh, Mom, this is just 40 minutes away from here. I'm like, I've never heard of this place, never seen it. How do you know? I got to go there. So I go one day to this restaurant, and it turns out to be the rooftop of RH Collection. Now, many of you will probably know about RH Collection, but little old Tasha here, fresh off the boat from Jamaica, knew nada about RH Collection until 2 years ago when my daughter went to the rooftop restaurant. And so I go expecting a restaurant, and it's actually a 4-story building with a restaurant on top. The entire 3 floors are filled with the most beautiful furniture and fixtures I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've only seen this stuff when I've traveled and gone to really, beautiful, wealthy, opulent buildings. I've seen that kind of stuff. I've never seen it actually for sale in a place. Straight up. So I walk in, and of course I start looking at everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want all this in my house. And guess what? The cheapest chandelier that I see is $20,000. So I immediately go, okay, maybe 10 years from now, I'm not in a financial position to do that. And my intuition says, okay, Tasha, that's your limiting belief. Maybe not, but it's not going to cost you anything. Grab one of the catalogs. So I grab this catalog 2 years ago. And when I tell you, walking around in that building, feeling the energy of opulence and wealth and bed sheets that cost thousands of dollars, and I'm like touching them like they really do feel $1,000 like, right? And I am like, oh my gosh, someday. So I take this catalog, this one, see how worn it is? And I put it on my coffee table in my living room. That's it. I put it there. And every now and then I'm watching TV. I would flip through the pages. I would mark it. Look, you'll see the pages are marked everywhere, right? But this is the fun thing. I even went and I took, this is what I would do for fun. I would get a blank sheet of paper and I would literally write down, this is what I would want in my living room. This is what I would want in my bedroom. This is what I would want in my dining room. And I wrote the things and the pages, right? I'm like, someday. And that's all I did. Then I started just going there, walking around once a month, having a meal, just walking through, feeling that feeling, seeing myself someday in this environment. Finally, a year or so goes by, and my husband and we had known that at some point we were going to need to buy our home, right? So we are now in a home purchasing situation, and we need to buy furniture. And I'm like, looking at all the regular furniture stores until eventually I say, well, let me look through this catalog that I love the furniture so much just to get an inspiration. Clearly, I'm not going to get anything that's in here, but I'm going to be inspired and I can go look at the regular furniture stores for something like these. And Tony and I find a bedroom set that we both love, which is near to impossible. I love light. He loves very masculine, dark. And we find a bedroom set in this catalog and we both are in love. I'm like, this is wow. And just by chance, I go on the website and the entire set is on sale, 50%. Why is this important in the story? I assumed, like Louis Vuitton, like Chanel, like all the luxury brands, that this store would never have a sale. So I had put myself out of the running for this luxury stuff that I was so in love with. I took it out of my realm of possibility for years because I assumed it would never be on sale. It would never be in the price range that I could get it right now. Fast forward, okay, so we decide we're getting the bedroom set, right? And so I start looking through the rest of the website, and literally 80% of what I had on my list is on sale. Why? Because remember, I got this catalog like 2 years ago. So everything in there is now on sale. As I'm doing my research, I find out they have an outlet store. Never in my mind. So I go to the outlet store and I buy my husband's entire office collection. And right now, my new house is probably 70% furnished by this store that 2 years ago I thought was super out of my reach. And here is the law of opulence. What did I do? I put this catalog on my coffee table. I flipped through it. I wrote out what I would want in my house. I went to the store and put myself in that environment, and the universe conspired. Did they always have sales? Yes. Did they always have an outlet store? Yes. But I didn't know it. And I would have walked in and walked out and said, this is not possible for me. Except I understand these laws, and I was willing to do the simplest, easiest thing that was possible for me, which was to just put myself in that feeling, surround myself. Then I started getting more and more catalogs, and I just put myself in the energy of opulence. And lo and behold, the universe conspired. It did everything that was needed so that my dream of wealth and the feeling of opulence in my home could become a reality for a fraction of the price. A fraction of the price, right? So here is what I want you to type. Wealth is a magnetic frequency. Wealth is a magnetic frequency. I'm not talking anymore about just being more than enough financially. Like, why? If you have laws that can help you be wealthy, why do you want just enough or just more than enough? Like, to me, I am not going to use the law of gravity just to like get a little bit. I want the whole thing that's possible for me. Wealth is a magnetic frequency, and it responds. This frequency responds to the feeling of wealth, the feeling of opulence in you. It is magnetic. It draws to itself. What does that mean? You feeling that feeling of wealth and opulence attracts to you everything in your environment that will cause you to have more wealth in your life. I was thinking this morning too, 3 years ago, I bought a new home, and I remember just saying, I just want the feeling of opulence in this home. That's it. I didn't spend a ton of money. I furnished that home from regular furniture stores, but I chose everything because I wanted the feeling of spaciousness and opulence in my home. While I was in that home, my revenue in my business doubled. Now you're going to say, oh, Tasha, you were doing things in your business. And I'm going to tell you, I steeped myself in the feeling of opulence, and it magnetized to me the things that are a match to that, like doubling my revenue, like being able to go on luxury trips, like all of the things that are a match for that magnetize themselves to me. And so, I want to invite you. I just want to ask every person here now, if I could teach you more about these laws, would you be interested in learning? And I'm just going to wait for you. Like, would you be like, Tasha, show me the way? Like, enough, just show me the way. If it's easier, if it's going to save me years and time and effort and energy, show me the way. If you were like, yes, Tasha, I really, this makes sense. That's it. Does it make sense to you that right now there are laws, and the people that you see having it easier is not because they're lucky. It's because they are obeying the laws, and the laws are now turned and obeying them to bring into their lives the results that they want, which is whatever that is. In this case, there are laws that will make wealth effortless, right? So here's my invitation to you. I will be hosting an Effortless Wealth Masterclass at the end of July. And I want to teach and show you how to command your energy. I want to teach and show you how to command your energy, how to use the spiritual, scientific, and the universal laws to make wealth effortless for you. I am totally converted. I've proven, like, there is no more proving to be done. This is available for all of us. Me, you, everybody, because it is a law. When it's a law, it works for everyone. If you're like, Tasha, I know the level at which you deliver, you're going to do a masterclass on effortless wealth, I am in. Period. End of story. Then I want you to type the word flow. Right now, hang on, let me jump over here, make sure you all have it. I want you to type the word flow in the comments. Check Facebook Messenger when we're done. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to talk about in that masterclass. But type the word flow. If you're watching on Instagram, on YouTube, type it too. I will make sure the team gets the information to you, but just go ahead and type the word flow. You know, like Tasha, I'm in. I want to be in this effortless wealth masterclass. It's going to be 3 parts. I'm literally going to take you for an hour and a half, and I'm going to break it down to super simple for you. Number 1, awareness. What I realized was I didn't know what I didn't know. I was literally in the dark about these laws, like the people 500 years ago or 200 years ago didn't know that there were laws that they could implement and apply to fly or to take us across the world. I didn't know what I didn't know. And here's the thing, I didn't know what I didn't know about myself in relationship to these laws. I was just totally in the dark. And so every time I teach, I want to make you aware about you in relation to the laws of wealth, in relationship to applying or not applying these laws, and what makes it take so long and what makes it so hard, right? So awareness is number 1. Number 2, I've been diving deep for the last 6 months. You've heard me talk about it, you know, a lot more science, a lot more neuroscience, but really it's all about understanding the energy and the frequency of wealth. There are 5 wealth archetypes. Your greatest opportunity to up level your wealth consciousness is to understand the wealth energetic scale. Understand that it is frequency, and which of these archetypes and where on this scale are you, and how can you move it. A higher wealth consciousness causes, it is a law, causes the effect of more wealth in your life. But you have to first be aware, well, where on the scale am I? And how can I move myself to the level of wealth consciousness that causes wealth to happen for me? You know, you look at people that you admire that are financially where you'd like to be, and your mind will make you think there are all these things that they know that you don't know, or they're doing that, you know, like you haven't figured out. And I'm telling you, point blank, bottom line, it is energy. It's consciousness, period. It is. And especially if you want it to happen fast, you can take all the years of going to school and learning more, getting more certification and doing all of your knowing, your knowledge, or you could just climb the energetic wealth scale, period. Understanding the wealth archetypes and figuring out which one of them you're operating in and how to get to the one that will cause more wealth to happen for you with ease. So awareness, wealth and energy frequency, and the last thing is becoming effortlessly wealthy. I just want to tell you this. What if by changing 2 things that you are actually already doing? Remember when I started, I said, listen, it's not that you're doing things wrong, it's that you're not doing enough things in the right way. What if there are things that you are already doing? And I can just show you how to change them so that you apply the law of wealth. You apply the law, you obey the law that causes wealth to be effortless. And then the effect is wealth being effortless. You're already doing it. I guarantee you these 2 things, easy, you do them every day without thinking. And I'm going to show you just how to change it so that you now obey the law. You want to begin to command this law of wealth so that you can experience effortless wealth. That's where I'm at. These last 6 months, I've been up leveling. And every time I up level, I come back and I teach and I say, last time I did a big major teaching was in February. Between February and now, I've spent my time diving into neuroscience, diving into energy. I got a whole other mentor just for energy, right? So I am just coming back and I'm like, listen, it can be easier. Here you go. Let me show you. This masterclass is $8.88. Hopefully I don't have to say anything else. Is it worth your time? Is it worth the money? It's a cup of coffee to learn a law that can save you time, effort, and truthfully get you to where you want faster. Are you in? I'm going to jump over here. I'm going to check the comments. If that is you, go ahead and type the word flow. Check Facebook Messenger. Register for your $8.88. It'll be the best $8.88 you have spent. And I promise you, I am going to blow your mind. One of the wealth archetypes is the Jamaican market woman. Get ready for this one. If nothing else, you're going to laugh. And you're going to laugh at yourself. I've laughed at myself when I realized, oh my gosh, these are the ways that we are relating to wealth. And what am I doing? What am I doing? Being in this energy and this frequency. No wonder it's taking longer. No wonder it's hard, right? So type the word flow, $8.88. Best $8 you'll ever spend. The frequency of 8 is prosperity. It's my life path number. All the things scientifically aligned to make this amazing for all of you. All right. Mwah! I will see you. P.S. Those of you meeting me in Atlanta. Oh my gosh, I think I heard we were up to 50. So here's the thing, or more. An email went out over the weekend that said, we're still meeting at the restaurant. We are not. The restaurant cannot manage our abundance of people. So we are meeting at the Avalon Hotel. I believe that's the name of it. An email went out saying we were meeting at the restaurant. Just so you know, it is incorrect. I've asked the team to resend the right hotel, but just know it is a hotel. It is not the restaurant because they don't have capacity for us, problems. The problem of so many people wanting to come together and have an amazing night. So I'll see you Atlanta Thursday night. Mwah. Have a great Monday, everyone. Bye-bye.